Ben Braun, Evolution Martial Arts in Sparks, Nevada with my buddy Steven. Half guard. Yep. So this week is butterfly half guard. Crazy, I never did butterfly half guard.
Something you don't hear of a lot.
Yeah, it's just, well, it's out there. The guys that compete at high levels, they do it. But I've literally never had a class on it, which is cool because I got to keep learning too. With 11 years under my belt, it makes sense very quickly, right? So this video is going to be on how to get to butterfly half guard from different positions. Here's worst case scenario. I'm flattened out, which I don't want to be, okay? Shoulder pressure, inside space. He's got the underhook, inside space. I can't get out, and then even worse. So my go-to here always is control the leg. At very least, get this foot inside and start moving his hips. Even better, lockdown. Now I own your hips. But if you're smart, you hide that foot and I can't get to it. I'm searching for it, I can't find it. Which makes getting, the two things I want here, guys. I want an underhook or I want a frame. Those are the two main things I'm trying to do. And if I can get access to your foot, let me have it again, then I use that to get an underhook or a frame. But sometimes
I'm gonna hide it.
You can't. And Steven's heavy, he's big, strong, and skilled. It's gonna be tough. So what can I do? Well, the more pressure he puts here, the less is on my hips. So I'm gonna use this hand on the opposite hip. I'm gonna frame a little. I'm gonna use this foot to hip out, right? Now my upper half is still flat, right? So I can only hip out so far. But the whole point is to get this hook in. Now you can see my body is kind of angled. It's not what I want. I want to straighten back up. So in a way, the way I think of it is I hip out, insert hook, hip back in. And now our spines are straight. Okay? So that's the first way to get butterfly guard, or butterfly half guard. Give me a good pressure. Yeah, I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna mess with stuff. Like I can move you around a little. Like even here you can feel.
Yeah.
So you'd have to post. So there are ways, even if I can't get your leg. But really good people with good base, and we know a few of those, it's gonna be tough. So now I'm hipping out to get that in and I hit back in. Right, now I got my butterfly half guard.
Right.
Okay. I gotta consult the board. Okay, another way. They're all kind of the same. So let's say I do have your leg and I can get a frame, right?
That sucks.
So I'm creating space here, and if I like butterfly half guard, I just insert my hook there. I can also kind of hip out, which is probably more realistic, right? Remember, I either want an underhook or a frame. In this case, I get a frame. Now I can hip out, insert hook. That's if I want to keep butterfly half guard. I mean, I can go right to half guard from here, depending on how much space.
Right to butterfly, yeah.
Right? Butterfly half has some advantages.
For sure.
So you say, why wouldn't you just go to butterfly? Well, there's a lot of cool things you can do from butterfly half guard. And then the last one, okay. So we're going back to our basic half guard escape here. I go underhook, I start building a base, and he's gonna whizzer me. And I'm too late to get this down low and connect my head to Steven Smart. He's starting to whizzer pretty hard here. Again, hip out, insert hook. I mean, you can't stop me from doing that.
No.
You know, ideally, I'd like to start turning your hips here.
And as soon as my hips start going,
So let's turn around this way. Just to this place, yes. So, but if he's putting a lot of pressure, then I can't really affect your hips here. But what I can do is hip out, insert hook.
Yep.
There's almost no way to stop me from doing that. So look, there's a counter to everything. But there's a counter to that counter.
Right. Tools in the toolbox.
Don't try to learn everything. What I'm doing is I'm showing you there's some good places to get to. Because this, you don't have to do anything, but flattened out, this isn't good.
It's not good at all.
I gotta get to somewhere better. So sweeps are awesome, but sometimes you can't sweep, right? So one of those better places is butterfly half guard.
Yeah.
This is better. It gives you leverage, it gives you things you can do, okay?
Gives you space, gets that pressure off you.
So I'm gonna have you do it real quick because you might do it slightly different. Let's turn the other way and then we'll turn back. So I'll kind of direct you here.
Yep.
The first one, simply hip out, insert hook.
Okay. That's
And
what we
actually,
go for,
yeah, I'm sorry, let's turn around again. That way they can see what your feet are doing. I'm giving you good pressure, even shoulder pressure.
My thing too is I always like to try to obviously load those
Yes, he's loading his hips.
hips if I can.
Yep, and so let me have this. I'm hiding my foot. Go ahead, hip out, insert hook. And so you're already kind of going to kind of a modified butterfly where your shin is like the hook.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think I've always liked that with longer legs.
Yeah, and this is really active. Okay. Go, you're gonna get your underhook.
Okay.
I'm gonna whizzer you.
Okay.
Okay, so use your feet to get your underhook. Yeah, start building the base, and immediately I go whizzer, hip out, insert hook. And then, that's gonna be in the next video, but yes, that's exactly what you would do with that. That would probably be your first option.
Right, right.
Last one. You're gonna use your legs to get a frame.
Okay.
Then you're gonna hip out, insert hook.
Okay.
Pick it up to pattern yet, hip out, insert hook, if you want butterfly half guard. Okay, so use your legs to get a frame. There's your frame.
All right.
Okay, hip out, insert hook. And it would take a little movement from there. 3 ways to get to butterfly half guard. Is that all the ways? Definitely not. Those are just 3 common ways. I like to teach a thing, okay? So the basic half guard escape with an underhook. Underhook, build a base, right? And then knee pick.
Yeah.
But what do they do about that? Everything they can do about that. And instead of an underhook, you get a frame. Those are the 2 things you're trying to do. Sometimes you can't get either. You always have options.
Yeah.
Right? So I like to go over what are the common responses to what you should do, and then what do you do about that? I don't want you to learn everything. But as we saw in the class, you guys started moving each other around and you're creating sweeps. I saw sweeps in the class today that I didn't teach. You guys are just like, oh, what about this?
And I think that comes down to a fundamental thing, like you taught from when I first started. Is
When you understand
frames, inside space, hooks, posts,
move center of gravity,
center of gravity.
take away their ability to
Pretty
pose.
much.
That's what sweeps are. So then
still
jiu-jitsu
learning,
just
but you're
starts.
like, yeah, it's
That's
just
the
still
art
like,
part.
okay,
Is
yeah.
Steven, you're doing it the way you do it,
Right.
not the way I do it.
Right.
Right, and you're gonna do it. John's behind the camera here. You're creating your own game. You've only been doing this 4 months, something like that?
Yeah.
Already creating a game, a way you do it. That's the art part. Beautiful. Anything else?
That's it.